Welcome back to the Dairy Raid and our spring review of the position groups. And last but not least is the quarterbacks. And where does the quarterback room stand going out of spring and into fall camp? Let's start at the bottom and we'll work our way up. Cole LaCrue, injured. Always seems to be injured. Don't expect much from him because I'm expecting he's going to be injured going into spring. And unfortunately, when you have injuries piling up, by the time you get healthy, you might be left behind. And if he misses significant time this year, he's going to be put behind. And with another highly touted freshman coming in next year, unfortunately, JB, if Cole LaCrue is going to win a Heisman, I think it's going to have to be at Colorado State or maybe a Harlan Hill Trophy at Northern Colorado, but I don't think it's going to be in Madison. With the departure of Nick Evers, Mabry Mettauer has been getting all of the number 3 reps. He earned most of the number 3 reps before that. He solidified the number 3 job with the departure of Evers, getting some reps with the number 2s as well. Mabry's got a bright future. He's got a lot to learn and what it takes to be a college quarterback. But I think he can use the example of Nick Evers of what not to do to earn a chance to move up the depth chart and how to be a college quarterback. So future's bright for Mabry. He'll be an emergency quarterback role this year in the position to redshirt and could be pushing for playing time as a redshirt freshman next year. Future's bright for him. He's earned the number 3 job, that's for sure. And we get to 1 and 2. And as I've expected since the day he was announced as a transfer, I think Tyler Van Dyke has finally separated himself and has positioned himself to be the starter going into fall camp. Again, the myth of the quarterback competition this spring. Of course, Braden Locke wants to be the starter. He played last year, he earned playing time, he earned the number 2 job last year. He performed admirably when he needed to play. Of course, he's competing to play. But as the spring has gone on, and as Tyler Van Dyke has gotten more and more comfortable with the system, his play within the system has gotten better and better every practice. Over the last 4 or 5 practices, you're hearing from the media people that it was his best practice. And it sounds like the spring game on Saturday was even better. And it's what we expect. It's what we hoped for. And we're getting it. Braden Locke has worked hard. I think he's going to be a valuable number 2 quarterback this season. I think he's going to be a strong candidate to be the starter next year. And if he wins the starting job next year, he's got the starting job locked up for the next 2 years after that. He's a solid player. I think Tyler Van Dyke does everything that Braden Locke does better. He's bigger. He's stronger. He's more athletic for a pro-style quarterback. He's got a stronger arm. He's got experience. All those things add up to Tyler Van Dyke being the starter. They wouldn't have brought him in if they didn't think he was going to be able to win the job. And I think he has. Let's see how he does in fall camp. But I think the quarterback room is pretty solid right there. With the departure of Nick Evers, could we see them bring in a transfer? So they're back to 5 scholarship quarterbacks going into fall camp. It is possible, but like I said in my transfer targets video, I think at this point they would be bringing in a transfer quarterback who could be an emergency guy, but has positional values other places, whether it be on special teams or tight end or something like that. So I think they're okay with 1, 2, 3. And, there's also the walk-on coming in. So, practice-wise, they'll be fine. But with them just barely now getting to the scholarship limit with some of the latest departures to the portal, I don't know if filling the fourth quarterback spot is a priority unless you can get value somewhere else. So it is what it is. All right, so that's the quarterbacks. And that concludes our look at the Wisconsin offense post-spring. Again, I know we're not quite at the end of spring ball yet. I think they've got 2 or 3 practices left. They'll be practicing this week. But I think we have a pretty good idea of where the offense stands coming out of spring. On purpose, I did not mention very many of the incoming freshmen who were not part of spring ball, because I don't want to speculate on people playing who I've never seen on the field, or at least heard what they've done on the field, other than high school or watching them play 7-on-7 and stuff like that. I want to hear how those players do in college football before I make assumptions on their playing time. I think this is also showing this year the importance of enrolling early. And it's going to be the way things are going to be done in the future. I think we're going to start seeing more and more of those guys come in. But that's why I'm not talking about them, because they're not here. I'm talking about the guys we got. Hoping to see some of those young guys, especially in the running back room and the offensive line room, push themselves to maybe get in the 3 deep going forward, but to also be in solid positions going into 2025 to take significant roles when we get there. So that's that. That's the spring. Fall camp is only, 3.5 months away? What are we going to talk about until then? We'll figure it out. But thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video, whenever that might be.